Now, I've got a lot of wonderful Mormon friends, but I'm sorry, Joseph Smith made some big errors.
Mormons are seemingly the most nicest people on the earth, but check out what Cliffe has to say about Mormonism on the PBD podcast.
Within Christianity, let's kind of break that down. Biggest difference between non-denominational Christians versus Catholicism versus LDS Mormonism.
All right. Catholicism and non-denominational Christian churches hopefully stick to the Orthodox Christian faith. One God, three persons, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, deity and humanity of Christ, sinless life, atoning death on the cross, resurrection, ascension to heaven, he's coming back a second time. Now, I've got a lot of wonderful Mormon friends, but I'm sorry, Joseph Smith made some big errors. And one of the biggest errors he made is, once again, the identity of Christ. Mormonism, in its fundamental teachings, teaches that Jesus and Lucifer are brothers. What? No. Jesus is the eternal God. Lucifer is a created angel who fell, who rebelled against God. They are not brothers. And there are other reasons that I think it's very hard to follow Mormonism for intellectual reasons. You got to be intellectually honest. And Joseph Smith, nice guy in many ways, but boy, oh boy, did he ever twist some of the teachings of Christ, not the least of which is polygamy. I mean, you can't read the Bible and walk away saying polygamy is good. When Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines, the Bible's not saying, oh, that was good. When David had a few wives and some concubines, the Bible's not saying that was good. That polygamy that's recorded in the Old Testament is not saying, oh, polygamy is good. No, right at the beginning in Genesis 2:24 we read, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother, be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Not the 10 become one flesh, the two become one flesh. So God's purpose in creating us male and female is, for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother, be united to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. That's not polygamy, that's monogamy.
Now, this is powerful what he's about to say about religious structure. This is super relevant for us today. Check it out, and then I'll give you my thoughts afterward.
Got it. Okay. So within Islam, go to Islam. When a Muslim sells the benefit of becoming a Muslim, what are the benefits? Hey, if you become one, here's what's going to happen. Christianity, you accept, you go into heaven, salvation, great. What is it with becoming a Muslim?
I think the best reason for a secular American to become a Muslim is because it provides structure. We started off this wonderful time together, Patrick, talking about relativism. Mm-hmm. Well, if you think about relativism enough, you begin to realize that you can never look into your spouse's face and say, you should not have said that. There's no should. There's no ought. And you can't look into your child's face and say to them, that was wrong what you did. No, if you're a moral relativist, it's all just a matter of choice. It's all relative. Well, you see, you try and live that out enough. You live in a family, in a neighborhood, in a school. You play on a ball team. You live in a culture. You watch a government go in that direction, and it is stinking meaningless. Life is a stinking crapshoot. And then Islam comes in saying, here's structure. Here's structure for every area of your life. And I think those Americans who have become Muslims have done it largely often for that reason. I yearn for structure. I yearn for order because this is chaos, moral relativism. It's totally chaotic.
Well, I would say, Muslim Catholics and Jews probably have more structure than Christianity does. There's a system of what you do. There's rituals. There's certain more sacrifice to be one. If you want to be a Jew, there's a lot of sacrifice you're making. If you want to be a Muslim, there's a lot of sacrifice you're making and certain habits you got to follow. And I would even put Mormonism in there because their service is longer. There's certain things you do on Monday, certain things you wear, certain structures you have to have financially. It's not just 10%, it's more. There's certain ways you go about it. Kids go in 2 years, learn a language, go to a different place, go to your, what do they call it when you go on your 2-year missions trip that you go on, right? Okay, so that's fine. That's the structure part. But that can't be it. What else are they selling for one to say, yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm open to the idea.
Well, I think obviously the Mormons bang away on family, which is great, obviously, tremendous. And Muslims, I think, do a very good job talking about devotion. You pray 5 times a day facing Mecca, buddy. So get down on your knees and pray to God. So, there are some points there that are legitimate, I feel. Very legitimate. But remember, Patrick, read the Gospels. And it was some of the most structured people that gave Jesus the most difficulty. They were called Pharisees. And they had everything structured. And they had all the rules down, and they crossed all their T's and dotted all their I's. And they were dead in their structure. Jesus comes to cause a revolution of the heart, where we are overwhelmed by God's amazing grace, and that changes us at the root of our being. So yes, structure is good, but watch out for structure, because structure can, especially in religion, be deadly.
When I was in college, I didn't have any idea about Mormonism, but I was looking for the truth. I was open. I didn't care if it was Baptist or Pentecostal or Mormons. I didn't care at all. I didn't know any different. And I had a talk with the Mormons on the college campus at UCF. And one of them gave me the Book of Mormon and said, just read it and see what you feel, what you experience. And so I brought it back home and I put it on my desk. And I felt like the Lord said, throw it away. It's of the devil. Literally, that's what I heard. And so I grabbed that book and I went to the dumpster and I threw it out right away. At least I think right away. I might have procrastinated, but I did go to the dumpster at some point and throw that thing in there. Now, what am I trying to say? That they're of the devil? Maybe. Or at least their belief system may be of the devil. Because you got to think, the devil is going to try to use everything he can to bring people away from the true gospel, the true faith, even if he has to bring in some niceties and some truth into the equation. The most horrible lie can have a bunch of truth in it, but not be the truth. Now, you may ask me, are Mormons going to hell? Are all Mormons going to hell? I don't think so, in my opinion, because many of them are just deceived by their religion. And for many of them, they're trying their best to serve Jesus, even if they think Jesus is the brother of Satan, which is crazy. I could be wrong. Maybe all of them are going to go to hell, but what I know is this: God is merciful and he is just. And at the same time, God is willing to show any Mormon the truth. But the problem is, so many of us trust our religious institutions or our pastors more than we do the Holy Spirit. I heard of someone go so far to say, if you hear God tell you something and your pastor tell you something, go with what your pastor says. And on the same point, I know it can be very difficult for people to discern the voice of God. Is this God speaking to me, or is this the devil? I mean, what if it was the devil that wanted me to throw away the Book of Mormon and the Holy Spirit wanted me to read it because Mormonism is the true religion? I don't think that's the case, because I ask the Lord almost every day, Lord, lead me, guide me, show me areas I'm wrong, because I want to do what's right in your eyes. That's the prayer we all need to pray to God. Lord, what am I missing? Is there anything in my life that's off? Lord, guide me and show me the truth. And I tell you, maybe God won't answer you that very moment. Maybe he won't answer you the next day. If you pray to God and you're like, Lord, is it Catholicism? Is it this religion? Is it that? Lord, show me. There was a time I was doubting everything, including the Bible, and I said, Most High God, the one that is beyond everything else, the one who made this universe, show me the truth. Just show me the truth. And I tell you, the Lord answered and he showed me the truth. And that truth is Jesus Christ, the Son of God. But even in my confidence in the Bible, I am still asking the Most High. I'm asking God, the Creator, lead me. Because I think most people would agree there is a God, and that God is above all gods. And that God can hear us today. Friends, I've encountered that God and he has revealed to me it's Jesus. Jesus is the answer. The Bible is his word. I've experienced healing and power and all of this wonderful things, transformation of my life. I have seen the evidence that Jesus Christ is the truth, the way, and the life. If you don't know Jesus today, I encourage you, pray and ask the Most High, the creator of this universe, what the answer is. Do it in humility and keep going until you find the truth. And if you all are enjoying this content, hit like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think about all of this. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. I'll see you guys in the next one.